Stalin, when he's not being a good-looking hunk, was absolutely off his rocker. In fact, he could rival Trump with his paranoid egomania. Stalin isn't even his real name. It's that, basically. Anyway, the word Stalin literally means man of steel. So that tells you something about the man.
What's the S stand for?
Stalin.
He was a huge egomaniac, and regularly purged or killed anyone who stood against him. His unrivalled political acumen allowed him to pit rivals against each other for his own gain. Trotsky versus Kimonov and Zimonov, Churchill versus Roosevelt, for example. However, when he couldn't do this, he just killed them. Ukrainian elected officials problematic. Well, there's 200 of them, so of course you only kill 199 of them. You can't kill all of them. You're not a monster. You've got to leave one left. Anyway, he was so committed to this style of leadership. If you, as a soldier, surrendered, your family would be arrested and detained. This included his son's wife. His son's wife! Anyway, he would also kill generals who failed in battle, despite the fact they were literally just doing what he was telling them to do. At Minsk, for example, the failure of which was due to him not thinking that the Nazis would redeploy their troops from the German-Soviet frontier between 15th and 20th of June approximately. Despite Hitler telling him that they would redeploy their troops from the German-Soviet frontier between 15th and 20th of June approximately. His military strategy was cemented in the only war experience he had, which was the Civil War, where tight discipline won against the whites. His policy of not one step back is ludicrous, and cost 500,000 troops in Kiev. Essentially, his solution to all his problems was just more men. When in doubt, more men. This brutal war of attrition cost a total of 28 million lives and severely depleted forces and supplies. It's rumoured, and most historians doubt this actually happened, but it's rumoured that in Stalingrad there was one rifle wheel for every 2 men. And the reasoning for this was that the second man would pick up the rifle from the first guy when he was shot and carry on fighting. Despite the massive loss of life, he wouldn't learn. At Stalingrad, when German forces proved tricky, he again proposed just moving more reserve troops to offend, offense. Tired of Stalin's shit,
crap!
Zhukov muttered something like, "Oh, there must be another solution." And Stalin just said, "What did you just say, punk? You got a better idea?" And Zhukov suggested, not doing that, and decided to hang back, prepare troops, and pincer the shit out of the Nazis.
In a double envelopment. A pincer move. They won't be able to hit us from the sides. Good.
This strategy worked with stunning success. Anyway, what with Stalin's consistently placing responsibility on generals' shoulders by murdering them for their failures, you'd think that he would reward Zhukov for his successful defence of Moscow and Stalingrad. And of course he did so by appointing himself as Marshal of the Soviet Union. Okay, Stalin, okay. But speaking of Moscow, even with German forces a matter of miles away, Stalin stayed in Moscow,
Balls of steel.
At the end of the war, Stalin again recognised the achievements of his generals by making himself Generalissimo, the highest military rank there is that was created specifically for Stalin. Although, to be fair to the guy, he didn't like the white uniform because he thought it made him look like a waiter. Gotta stay gorgeous, because he's from Georgia. Sounds like I try.
Y'all dancing to my little red